I'm tired of it. Just make the fight. Why is the fight so difficult to get done? So right now, to keep you into to keep things in perspective, right now it's June the 23rd, 2018. TstreeT. This is bright. Why is this so motherfucking bright? Let's put that down there for right now. Let's give you a little brief introduction before we go back. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. It is June the 23rd, 2018, 10:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So as it stands right now, Deontay Wilder does have the contract for the fight. A couple of days ago, news came out from the manager. Let me show you who this guy is. This guy, Shelly Finkel. I met him at Wilder's Tavern too. He used to work with Mike Tyson, as you can see. This is Shelly Finkel, for those who don't know. This is Shelly Finkel. Right here. This guy right here. Shelly Finkel. Shelly Finkel. What was this likely with the Charles Martin fight, right? But the point I'm trying to make is he said that he and Wilder have the contract, but there were some things that didn't make any sense. So then I believe this was yesterday, correct, where Eddie Hearn posted this. The Winkle has been satisfied. So he's been putting out these cryptic tweets and, and it's like, I understand you can't really give, like professionally, he can't really go on and announce the fight just yet. But a lot of people are really getting pissed off with the way this is just dragging about. We want to see the fight. Yeah, Joshua versus Povetkin would be a good fight. Povetkin can win. The WBA is not going to strip Anthony Joshua. The WBO is not going to strip him. But yet, if Joshua versus Povetkin was to go down, they would say, well, he was the mandatory. We would have likely got stripped. The WBA and the WBO are not going to strip their cash cow. The IBF has shown that they would do it. The WBC, when it came to the Canelo situation, they was really put in a tough spot. But the WBA damn sure ain't stripping, and the WBO damn sure ain't stripping Anthony Joshua. So, of course, they're going to say, let's say, for example, like I said, if Joshua versus Povetkin was to go down, their side is likely going to say, well, he's the mandatory. Wilder's team was slowing, with the contract and all that shit. But I look at it like this. Tell me if this makes sense. Wilder versus Joshua. Whoa. Joshua versus Wilder is a stadium fight, right? It's a stadium fight, right? So a stadium fight would have to happen late fall, right? I mean, in the fall, before it starts getting too cold over there, right? With the open air. They would want to do 90,000, 100,000. 70,000, yeah, but they want to do more than that, right? Yeah, they can make ticket prices more expensive. Yeah, they could probably jack up the pay-per-view. Yeah, there'll be a lot of international money involved. We don't know if Showtime will probably fuck around and make us pay pay-per-view over here in the States for a midday card. I wouldn't be surprised, because they've been talking about, news came out about how, like, Showtime is still in the business of putting on pay-per-views. And it's like, well, Floyd is going, so who, So I guess the point I'm trying to make is I think that they won Povetkin because they can do something like, a regular arena with, 20,000 up, 20,000 to 30,000 people in a regular. Where would they do the O2 or something? They can do somewhere, something like that. And then around, March, April of 2019, then they could do the stadium again. That's what I think they're doing. I think that they're bullshitting around. Now, I don't like to take sides. I don't care who wins or loses. I'm still going to be here doing my videos. The life goes on. But something is just not right. You have Wilder's got a recent video, a recent interview. Here, let me pull it up for you. He's got a recent interview with Michelle Joy Phelps. It's an hour and 20 minutes long. I had it playing while I was doing laundry and cooking and everything in the background. But the gist of it is is that he really feels genuinely that it's right here on our channel. It's right here on our channel, and it's new. I'm gonna show you the date. I'm gonna show you the date. And in fact, let's go read some of the comments. Let's go read some of the comments from the video. I've noticed a lot of Anthony Joshua fans. It's hard to be critical of Anthony Joshua because the way they think is, that he's invincible. Now I understand that there's, hardcore fans that understand that Deontay Wilder does have a chance, especially with that, straight right hand. It's devastating. The real support and fans for Wilder here in the UK, even if it's a few and far between, real recognize real. I'm not going to read this. I'm not going to read all these, but it's an hour and 20-minute interview where basically he's talking about how like Eddie Hearn is a snake and this and that. I hope that they don't bullshit around. I hope that they make this fight. I just feel that the biggest sticking point is they want it in a stadium. And also for Joshua's team and Eddie Hearn, and then talk about Joshua needs more than an 8-week training camp. What? Training camp is 8 weeks, right? It's always been 8 weeks. If you have less than 8 weeks, you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Training camp is always usually like 8 weeks before the fight. And usually sometimes they don't count fight week. So I don't get it, man. But, with right now, what are we? Let me do. We are about 80-something days away. 3 months, right? Okay, Google. How many days until September the 15th?
84 days.
We're 84 days until Canelo Golovkin. If this fight's going to happen, it's got to happen in September, right? You had Joshua fight in April. You had what? Wait, Joshua fought in March. Joshua Parker was in March, correct? And then you had Wilder versus Ortiz in February, March the 3rd. I'm confused. I was really sick at the time. I'm trying to remember the date. But September would be right on track. But if it goes into October, then they would have to do a closed-in arena, right? It's just a mess. It's just a mess. And if this fight doesn't happen next, then we would have to see Deontay Wilder versus Dominic Breazeale. Here's the rankings, by the way. Let me break it down to you real quick. You have Deontay Wilder, who's the WBC champion. Dylan White is taking on Joseph Parker. Don't be surprised if it's going to be some type of maybe WBO interim, some shit. IBF eliminate. I don't know. It's weird. You got Kubrat Pulev, who's going to be likely fighting somebody, hopefully Gerald Miller, for the IBF mandatory. And the IBF of all these is the most important because they've shown us that they will strip you. As you can see, Joshua has these 3 belts. Why not go, go after it? What is bullshitting around? Now, of course, Anthony Joshua has options. Yes, he has, Povetkin. Then, he's got Manuel Char, who may be another mandatory somewhere later on down the line. After Manuel Char versus Frezo Quendo, will he finally fight Jesus Christ? You got Kubrat Pulev, Gerald Big Baby Miller. Dylan White, is very well still in the mix. Joseph Parker. You got Dominic Breazeale, who's very highly ranked. And as you can see, he's very highly ranked over here. We don't know what Luis Ortiz is going to be doing. And there's no point in talking about Tyson Fury because he's still in that rebuilding phase. And they say he's not going to be out of a rebuilding phase and fight incredible competition, not until mid-2019 or something, a whole year from now. So they got to get something done. But I do think you should go check out that Behind the Gloves interview because it just seems as though Wilder's getting very, very frustrated because he doesn't have any real options, truth be told. Especially when, Eddie Hearn is really trying to position his fighters to like back Wilder into a corner with that WBC situation. Because the WBC can very well do some shady shit and screw over Dominic Breazeale and be like, this is the WBC interim or some shit. Then Eddie Hearn would be like, well, look, you got to fight him or you take the deal we give you. Like, yo, this shit. And then can you imagine how crazy it would be next year around this time or more so in March, or at the end of let's say the end of this year, how the political landscape or the rankings may change. So if you are Eddie Hearn and you look at, what he's trying to do, he's trying to make sure the Wilder fight is a really, really big fight. But also, he's playing fucking chess. It's clear as day. Especially when he has a fighter that has 3 of the 4 belts. It's clear as day. With the sending of the contract, with the agreeing to the terms and all this going back and forth. Then they're openly saying that they're still negotiating with Povetkin. It's like, yeah, we got Wilder and we got Povetkin. Remember what happened with Dylan White and Kubrat Pulev, and then Dylan White went on to fight Joseph Parker. You see how Eddie Hearn always got, as you should. There's nothing wrong with having other options, right? I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.